These are the four things that you need to do relatively well to make six figures of revenue per month with high ticket dropshipping. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you are new, subscribe for daily high ticket dropshipping content. If you are someone that is serious about building a high ticket dropshipping business, or maybe you're just starting to test the waters and you're considering building an e-commerce business in 2025, high ticket dropshipping is one of the most targeted and smartest things that you can do for yourself as an entrepreneur, and especially if you're just getting started in the world of e-commerce. My link for my program is in the description below. It was made in 2025 along with my SEO expert partner, Lisa Whaley, and it is literally us building a high ticket dropshipping business from scratch and continuing to document what we are doing with it in order to scale it to six figures of revenue per month. We keep it very affordable. We want you to be able to use the majority of your funds on your actual business. And unlike a lot of really expensive programs, I won't name any names, that also sell high ticket dropshipping courses, you will have one-on-one contact with us, and we won't BS you. We don't have any fluff. It's just very straightforward, actionable steps to the point. This will give you the highest probability of success here. So, link is in the description below, and let's talk about the four things that you need to do relatively well to make a lot of money in high ticket dropshipping. And when I say relatively well, I'm not saying you have to be perfect at every one of these. But if you do all four of these things decently, you're going to have a really high probability of success. Number one, it may come as no surprise, is your niche. Again, I don't want to crap on other programs that are out there, but I think there are a lot of outdated high ticket dropshipping programs out there that suggest that you can get away with selling basically anything that costs $1,000 or above online. And this model, you can just plug and play and apply to it, and it will work the same everywhere. And that is just simply not the case at all. I always focus on need-based products. I think need-based products are really, really smart for multiple reasons. For one thing, they're recession-proof. Need-based products are the name suggests, they're things that are purchased out of necessity. Often this is B2B. It can be B2C as well, but when you're trying to sell something that has a utility versus like a lifestyle or a desire for it, like a luxury bathtub or a massage chair or sauna, fitness equipment, hobby stuff. Like if we're talking about machinery, if we're talking about something that is used to perform a function, this is something that will stand the test of time, and it's something that it is really good for conversions because it removes this layer of subjectivity from the buyer. If it fits the specs that they're looking for, if it fits the price point that they're looking for, and maybe it's the brand that they're looking for, it's the exact product, they're going to buy it. And I come from my experience, having sold need-based products with my own businesses. This is just the nature of how niches go in high ticket dropshipping. So the niche is unequivocally the most important part of your business, and we go really in depth into finding niches in 2025 using ChatGPT, SEMrush, SpyFu. And we're really targeted, but there's also a level of intuition when it comes to choosing niches as well. So again, link is in the description if you are interested and serious about building a high ticket dropshipping business in 2025. Number two is the website. We're kind of talking about four different variables here. The niche is number one. The second variable is the website. At the end of the day, if you have a crappy website, even if you're in a good niche, you can still drive conversions, but where you really stand out is if you create an easy buying experience for the customer. And what that looks like, it's kind of hard to put a one size fits all on this, but I would say generally answering every question that a customer has about the product that they're looking for at the top of the product page, and concise bullet points just so once they land on that page, within 20 to 30 seconds, they know exactly what they're looking at, especially if it's a complicated type of product. So maybe it's something that requires professional installation. It requires very specific specs with their product site, or whatever the product is. Well, if you can lay it out very concisely and very simply for them, whereas on other websites they have to read through paragraphs of information, it keeps them on your website for longer, and it clears up a lot of things really quickly for them, and it's so extremely powerful for conversions. At the end of the day, like, you could run the perfect Google ads in the world. You can be showing up for the right keywords, for the right search terms, and you're getting relevant traffic on your website. But if customers are having a crappy buying experience and they're having a hard time trying to figure out what it is, if they're trying to find the answer to a certain question, shoppers are just lazy. Online shoppers are lazy. I'm lazy when I shop online. Like, I often go to like videos or like product reviews just so I don't have to like try to sift through a bunch of different product pages and a bunch of different like paragraphs of information. So bullet points, tables, specs, all that kind of stuff. Especially when we're talking about need-based products, a lot of these principles really play into that type of market. So that's the website piece of it. The third variable that you need to do relatively well, I've already alluded to it, is your Google Ads. Now, to do high-ticket dropshipping, Google Ads isn't necessarily required. Maybe this is a long-term play for you. Maybe you have an income stream right now and you don't need to, scale this thing tomorrow. So I would say we'll get to SEO here towards the end, but if that's you, you can skip forward a minute or two, because Google Ads certainly is not required, but it can really, really accelerate things as far as the scaling of your business. When it comes down to Google Ads, there's really two main things that you can do to control how they perform, and what the traffic actually looks like. And we're going to assume that we're talking about standard shopping ads. So the first thing is your negative keywords. The more negative keywords you add to your shopping ads, the more Google knows things that you don't want to show up for. Things like words like cheap, used, Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, brands that you don't carry on your store, even if they're in your niche at the time. The more you add, and I'm talking literally thousands over the course of time, over the course of a year or two, where your ads will mature so much to where Google really understands this campaign, and it understands the customer base that you're trying to show up for. And the second piece, is your budget and your bids. The more you can bid, the generally higher you will rank on Google Ads, and the more budget you can spend, the more traffic you can get, and the more you scale both of them, the more competitive you're going to be consistently in the Google Shopping campaign. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into Google Ads, like your product titles, like long-term keyword search ads, Performance Max, which I'm still really trying to get a hang of with a couple of clients in my Google Ads service, and I don't feel comfortable speaking to it at length yet. I'm only about several months into doing it, but stay tuned on that. I think Performance Max has potential, but I think learning how to harness it is trickier because you give Google a lot more control. I think generally when it comes to high ticket, standard shopping and search are kind of always going to be the best answer, especially if you know which products are selling the best. So that's Google Ads. So we've covered your niche, your website, Google Ads. That's kind of historically for me been the holy trinity, but what has gained a significant amount of my respect over the past year is SEO. I think if you ask, I know, if you ask a lot of online business owners what is something that they could go back and change, when they were first getting started. What's a mistake they wouldn't have made? What's something they would have done earlier on? And so many people answer with SEO. SEO is so unbelievably powerful. I would go as far to say SEO is everything with your niche. The reason being, competition with Google Ads is volatile. And I have run businesses solely based on competing in Google Ads. And while it is very viable to do this, it's really targeted, it's intent based. You're showing up for specific keywords that people are typing in, searching for your products. So that's all fine and dandy, but the problem is the competition. The competition is volatile, and you can be consistently top of Google Ads for 6 months, and then if two competitors enter the space that also want to dominate Google Ads, they're going to take up a lot of your space, and you might see a dip in revenue. Well, with SEO, and there are so many different ways to go about developing your website's SEO, and that is very thoroughly covered in my program. The link is in the description below. The thing with SEO is it takes a while to see results from it. You put a lot of effort in with your on-page SEO, your off-page SEO, your technical SEO, and you won't really see results from those efforts for up to months, 4 to 6 months. It really depends on the industry and how quickly you might be able to rank. But once you are there, once you are ranking, let's say you're ranking for a high converting keyword in your niche, and let's say you're in the top 10, and that is the difference between getting, let's say 1,000 organic traffic, 1,000 people landing on your website organically each month, and 50,000 landing on your website each month organically. And I can't overstate the power of this, because once you are ranking in the top 10, it takes a long time for you to fall out of the top 10. So it takes longer to get there, but once you're there, it's a lot stickier than it is with Google Ads. With Google Ads, the competition is a lot more volatile, and it's obviously a lot more overhead. So once you are ranking organically with your SEO, it's free, it's sticky, and it's a long-term play, and it makes your website a hell of a lot more valuable when it comes time to sell it, if that day ever comes. I might have mentioned this in a recent video, but if you were to place two websites that are nearly identical right next to each other, site A makes $10,000 of monthly profit. Site B makes $10,000 of monthly profit. Site A runs Google Ads and solely relies on Google Ads to get this profit. Site B doesn't run any Google Ads, and it organically ranks, and it brings in $10,000 of monthly profit. Site B is going to sell for 2 to 3 times as much as Site A. Powerful SEO, because it takes so long to develop, and because it's so much more difficult and nuanced to develop, it is so valuable in the marketplace to where you can charge a significant premium when it comes time to selling your business. So that's one other thing. I only have experience selling one business so far in high ticket dropshipping, but I have a whole module that goes over how to actually go about this, how to prepare for it, when to start preparing for it as far as financials, etc. I don't want to get off track here, but it's something worth noting. So to wrap this up, the 4 things that you need to do relatively well in high ticket dropshipping to have a very high probability of success: niche, website, Google Ads, SEO. That's all for this one, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.